What does this award mean to the FIRS?
Well, it means that ICANN has recognized our contribution and our efforts, and it's given us added encouragement to even work harder.
There you are, still basking in the euphoria of the emergence of the Federal Inland Revenue Service as one of the Merit Award winners at the 2017 ICANN Dinner and Awards. And talking about recognition of efforts and contributions, the Federal Inland Revenue Service is not resting on its words. For example, in the last few months, the service has been making efforts, taking giant strides towards revolutionizing stamp duty administration in Nigeria. And so today on Tax Matters, we're going to be looking at stamp duty. The Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary simply defines stamp duty as a tax on legal documents. Stamp duty is not new in Nigeria. In fact, it has been with us since colonial times. The enabling law, the original legislation guiding stamp duty administration in Nigeria, was enacted in 1939, and it is today known as Cap 411, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 1990. The Stamp Duty Act imposes tax on a wide range of documents and transactions. These include deeds of assignment, insurance policies, powers of attorney, bills of sale, bills of exchange, charter party agreements, option notes, letters of guarantees, and many more. Stamp duty administration in Nigeria has metamorphosed over the years, and today, under the able leadership of Mr. Babatunde Fowler, stamp duty has reached a new height. It is now digital. In fact, it is also now moving into a new era, into the electronic platform. We now have e-stamp duty, electronic stamp duty. To give you, our viewers, a feel of what was, so that you will appreciate what is new, Tax Matters crew visited the stamp duty offices of the FIRS in Ikeja, Lagos, where Mr. Korede Lawal is the Commissioner for Stamp Duties.
This is an old machine.
Yes.
And by looking at this, you see that this is the die, yes, but it looks like a seal.
Yes.
The seal will be inserted into the machine, and there is like an iron, which you have to do it manually.
Yes.
When you compress it, when you press it down,
we'll now put the document.
You put the document, and when it compress it, it will, put a sign. And the seal has denomination. Like a company that a duty payer that pays like 1 million naira, so it has denomination, various denomination.
That is why you have many of them here.
You can have 5,000 denomination, 10,000 denomination, 500,000 denomination. So depending on how much the person has paid, so you now choose which one and you do your calculation. How many 500,000 will make 1 million? So you put 2 on the instrument. Yeah, that's why you are having as many as possible. So FRS moved from this old system to this red stamp machine.
Red stamp.
Yes. Good. And it's done manually. What we used to do is that we first mix the ink. This is the red ink. We'll mix it very well. You mix it with thinner. After that, you now put a bit, just small quantity here. So when you put the small quantity, then you look at the document, how much the duty payer has paid. Like I've said, these two, they are dies.
Just like the old one
yes,
also.
They have denominations too. So it's inscribed Federal Inland Revenue Service stamp duty. Okay, this is commissioner stamp.
Okay.
It doesn't have value.
Good.
You understand?
Yes.
If anyone is exempted from paying stamp duty, you just put commissioner stamp. Besides this, you now have the denomination of 50 naira. You have the denomination of 5 million naira. Yes. You have 1 million. Good. You have 2,500.
So different amounts. You now insert it in that place after mixing the
way you insert is just after mixing the ink. This is where these dies will stay. You have a pin that will suspend it. When you insert like this, you use the pin to hold it. Okay. So as you are trying to roll the machine, the ink that you have placed here, these rollers will be bringing the ink until it has, mark the dyes.
Okay.
So when the ink has gotten to the dye very well through the roller, you now put the document and embrace it on it. Yeah. So it will form that red stamp, whatever, with the denomination. So if the ink is mixed well and it's stamped well, when you see it, you see Federal Inland Revenue Service, and you see the amount that the seal, this dye, has, impressed on it. So then you can even know, because you can differentiate between Lagos Island dye and Ikeja dye. Okay. They are not the same thing. So may I see in a document, you will know where it is stamped from. They did not do it in the same shape. It doesn't have the same shape. Lagos Island has a shape that you will know that this is from Lagos Island.
So if I go to Kaduna also, it will show that it is Kaduna?
Yes, through the shape of the dye. That is it. It's different from the one we are using now. The one we are using now, it will state where the office is stamped.
Yes.
The time.
Yes.
And the date.
Yes.
So
this is called dye.
Dye, yes.
That is different from ink.
Yes.
Good.
This
is a dye. And plural will be dyes.
Yes, exactly.
So if that dye now is well inked,
exactly,
then it will show on
the paper. This is a copy of red stamping. This is from CAC2 of Corporate Affairs Commission for new registration of business. So for a share capital, for 1 million share capital, it's 7,500. Okay. So what we do, since we have 2,500 naira die, so we'll use it and we'll stamp it 3 times. Okay. So 2,005, 2,005, 2,005, making 7,500.
So that's why some of those documents have several stamps on them.
Thank you. So if you see several stamps, it has a various amount of money. Which by to the total amount of money, yeah. Good. If you add it up, you get this total sum of money paid to FRS.
Have you stopped using this, or you are still using it?
We've stopped it since first week December.
What do you now use?
We use the electronic stamping machine.
From the dungeon, we moved upstairs to Mr. Lawal's office, where we were shown the new look stamp duty machine, the digital stamp duty machine.
This is the digital machine for stamping. We started the usage first week in December 2016. That was when we stopped the manual system of stamping. And it is so easy, very friendly. It has a chip card. Without this chip card, the machine cannot work. When you put on the digital machine, stamping machine, it will ask you to insert the chip card, which you must insert. When you insert it, you are good to go to operate it. And the first thing you do with the machine is you set the date, you set the time, then you now set the amount of amount paid on the document you want to stamp. The stamping tool will be a red stamping, but not the type of one we were using before. After setting the time and the date, you now go for the amount of how much do you want to stamp on the document. You put the chip card. So you see, this is the last amount that I stamped, 7,500. And you can change it to any amount you want to. 10 million, 15 million, as low as anything, 10 naira, 50 naira. Once you just do that, the next thing you do is to put the document inside. You can do it automatically, or you just press it, and there you go.
Okay.
Yes. It will show you the time that you stamp it, the date you stamp, and the amount. And it will show the office the stamping is coming from. This is, you see NIG 7,500. You see SD, that is stamp duty, IKE Ikeja. SD IKE Ikeja. Then you now the date is 9/5/2017, and the time is 10:53. There was a publication made by FRS 1st of December 2016 on issue of rates. It's just to sensitize the public about the rate of stamp duties, federal stamp duties, because we have some issues sometimes with duty payer. Let me take for instance deed of assignment. It has to pass through states for perfection. So when it gets to stamp duty payment between corporate and individual, or corporate and corporate, they always tell them that okay, come to FRS to come and do your stamping. But the duty payer used to come with a particular template from land department that would have stated the consent fee, the capital gains tax, all those charges. Stamp duty. So they will now put FRS in front of stamp duty if it is one that we're supposed to collect. But they will have put another rate there, which is their own rate. So when duty payer comes to our office, we always have argument. By the time I'm showing him my own rate, which is 1.5, he will be questioning me that why, see the template that they gave to me, I was told that it's 0.5%. So why are you saying it's 1.5%? So I think that issue was addressed by management. Okay, let's make publication so that people will know that this is FRS stamp duty rate, so that there won't be. So since then, what we used to do is that when there are conflicts of we just make it. I have a lot of photocopies. When I do my assessment, I attach a copy to it to them so that they will know that they need to go and convince their client that this rate is different from state rate. And we have a stamp duty collectible by state and federal. Any transaction between individual and individual will be collected by state stamp duty. But when it involves corporate bodies with individual, it's federal inland revenue that will. So we have a lot of stamp duty. We have fixed rates. We have ad valorem. The fixed rates are documents relating to guarantor form, scholarship bond. You have agreement, power of attorney. Those are the fixed rates. No, whatever the case may be, the rates are fixed, and they don't usually have consideration. We have ad valorem. Ad valorem it varies according to the value. According to the value. You have deed of assignment, mortgage, debenture, release, contract, bill of sales, and so on and so forth. You have lease agreement. So it depends on the value on the instrument that will now apply your rate. So it makes it to vary. A landed property at the rate of 2 million naira will be different from the one bought at 5 million when you apply your 1.5%. So it makes it to vary. A consideration. So once a document carries a consideration, you must apply ad valorem.
So, where do I begin? How do I get to this final destination where I get this? Where does the stamp duty processing begin?
Yeah, it begins with customers. Some customers, duty payers, some of them come to our office first. Those that are not used to the rates, they come, they bring their document, we assess for them. After the assessment, they go to bank, they make their payment, collect teller. There is a customized FRS customized teller on the pay, and the duty payer has a choice of making payment to any office that he wants to make to. You can say you want your document to go to, you want to stamp your document Lagos Island. You can say stamp duty Lagos Island. So the banker will pay the money into Lagos Island account or Ikeja. So if it is paid to Ikeja, which means I will have access to the receipt. So the person will now bring the document along with the teller and e-ticket. Mm-hmm. We will take it at the counter there, mm-hmm. register it. Mm-hmm. How many documents did you bring? What is the name of the company? Amount of money paid, And this is a printer. We use this to print the receipt. What you need to do is to go to FRS web portal. There is a place there that you generate receipts. It's not me, but there is an officer that I created that will generate the receipt. Once it generates the receipt, how many receipts did we generate, to arrange it alphabetically. Then there is a code that will be linked to the system, and now print generated receipt. Once you send it, the machine will, once you load this, it will just continue printing.
You have so many now.
Yeah. It will just continue to print it on its own. It will print and print and print. Nobody will put a pen signature on your document without having printed this receipt. But it is this receipt that will, okay, yes, I'm confident that this person has paid. Okay, let me sign the document.
On your honor.
Yes, sir.
From step 1.
Yes, sir.
To the last step. How many days?
That is 48 hours after submission.
On your honor.
Yes, sir.
It's a new dawn in Nigeria, and the mantra is change. The wind of change is blowing all over Nigeria and beckons to you. One sure way to respond is to perform your civic duty, pay your tax. With taxes, government generates revenue to fulfill its electoral promises, ensure regular power supply, provide good security, standard education, medical care, true total change. Individuals and corporations enjoy specific benefits, rights and privileges for paying taxes and avoid the consequences and penalties of not paying. Oil revenue is no longer sufficient to bring desired change, but your tax can. It pays to pay your tax. A message from the Federal Inland Revenue Service.
Yes, indeed, it's a new era and very commendable. But commendable as it is, the FRS is still not resting on its oars. The new mode is e-payment of stamp duty and e-stamping. Yes, e-stamp duty, electronic stamp duty is here. To bring everybody on board, the service brought together its stamp duty commissioners from across the country, along with some other selected officers in those different offices, for a one-day workshop in Abuja on what is called Integrated Stamp Duty Services, ISDS. It took place on Tuesday, the 25th of April, 2017. Like we told you last episode, the ISDS training workshop was considered so important that the executive chairman, Mr. Batunde Fowler, was personally in attendance. Opening formalities over, the training workshop got into full gear.
The project we've been on is the Integrated Stamp Duty Services. In the few slides I'm going to show you, I'll run you verbally through how the CAC-CRP integration works. However, to give you a proper background to how the two systems interact, I will first start with stampduty.gov.ng properly. That is the main site for stamp duties. This is a tool for supporting users on the site, but for now, it works within working hours 8 to 5. If we are to make stamp duty payments, we basically start by what instrument or what document we want to stamp. That will inform us on what instrument to select. When we select our instrument, for instance, now we want to stamp a loan agreement form, right? So we selected the instrument related to loan agreement. And the system will require you to fill a few fields, starting with your team, who are the parties involved, and all of that.
I will take you through the stamp duty process from start to finish. It will require your team for you to log in. We integrated with all taxes in FIRS, and we thought it wise that every taxpayer should have a team, so that we know that, okay, you are a taxpayer and you want to make payments for stamp duties or other taxes. Because this thing, the information in stamp duty is going to be integrated with SIGTAS. So we made it in such a way that it will be integrated with SIGTAS. It will be easy for tax offices to locate and to track assets of taxpayers. Stamp duty is not working in isolation, it's working for FIRS. So this is the summary page. Deed of assignment between Gambo Haladu and Musa Abdullahi. We all have your phone numbers. Then we are now talking about the land in question now. Here we are supposed to put the size of the property. The system calculates the stamp duty based on the size of the property. That's the business rule we have. And once you put the size of the property, we get the location, it will calculate the sale also. You have a place here that you will attach the deed of assignment. You will upload the PDF version of the deed of assignment here.
Mr. Terap stressed the need to supply accurate information for processing stamp duty.
People come rush to stamp duty office is only when they have a court case or something. So you wouldn't want to jeopardize yourself by showing the court that it's a 20 square meter of plot I have or that I'm contesting instead of 1,000 square meter. If you put your land is 20 square meter, the certificate will show that you pay stamp duty for a 20 square meter plot. So this is our acknowledgement. This is our acknowledgement here. So we can see that it is, we have the assessment ID. Assessment ID is constant. Then we have the ISS payment ID 2 there. Then we have the instrument of assignment, amount paid 469, payer, the 400, payers team, this payment ID, payment channel, and then now you can go ahead to view your certificate.
Voila, like they say in French. What you have on your screen is the new e-stamp duty certificate. It is indeed a new dawn. Anyone with a phone that has barcode capability can verify the genuineness of the e-stamp duty certificate with his phone. And like we have told you before, you do not need to go to the office to stamp again. That is to get the now old ink. But if you still choose to have that ink, you are welcome.
Some people come in to forge stamp duty or to get their stamp or to get their documents stamped through the back door. Anybody can verify it. And that is very important for our office, especially in Abuja and Lagos, where embassies always send stamp duty documents to be verified. So they can use this platform to verify all their systems without sending their documents physically to the offices.
Director ICT at the FRS, Mr. Kola Okunla, seized the occasion to speak about automatic generation of taxpayer identification number, TIN.
There are a lot of initiatives going on that will support this platform. One of them is the automatic TIN generation. We are looking at, in the next 8 weeks, there will be automatic TIN generation. There's an interface between the ISDS and CAC. As we speak, there's an ongoing discussion so that every time a company is registered, the information is sent to JTB and FRS, and the information is used to generate TIN automatically without human intervention, and the TIN will be sent to the emails of the new taxpayers. And it will also reflect on our web portal on ITAS, such that the person will be able to have his TIN. It's already happening, but right now it's not real time online. This ISDS system is pulling information from CAC and sending to JTB, and then the staff in JTB use it to do bulk TIN generation.
It bears repeating that there are 2 levels of collectors for stamp duty, where the document being stamped or the instrument being stamped is on a transaction between 2 individuals or more individuals. The State Internal Revenue Service collects stamp duty. But where one of the parties is a corporate body or a government ministry, department or agency, at whatever level of government, be it federal, state or local, the Federal Inland Revenue Service collects stamp duty. We want to conclude this episode by reminding you that the 19th Annual Tax Conference will take place in Abuja, capital of Ogun State, between Wednesday the 17th and Saturday the 20th of May 2017. And that means that your bags should be packed by now. See you in Abuja. Next episode, we will still be looking at stamp duty administration we will bring you the interview with the National Commissioner for Stamp Duties, Mr. ITT Jimo. Make sure you keep a day with us. Same station, same day of the week, same time of the day. Have a blessed weekend.